Alright guys, hey, today in this video we're going to be talking about the ring dip. So one of the things I noticed with the ring dip is that a lot of my athletes, a lot of CrossFit athletes in general, struggle with the strength to be able to do a strict ring dip. Also too, ring dip is important because it's how you get out of a muscle up. So if a muscle up is one of your goals, check off your bucket list, you got to be able to do a ring dip to get out of it. So today I'm going to talk about in this video kind of step-by-step different ways that you can scale and progress in order to get your ring muscle up. Okay? Ring dip. So first things first on the ring dip is establishing a good base for just a standard push-up. So you should be able to execute a push-up perfectly, knock out 10 reps, that's full depth, chest to ground, chest and hips rise and lower at the same time. So in that push-up, something that you're looking for, okay, feet together, core is nice and tight, chest and hips lower at the same time, chest and hips rise at the same time. Okay, starting there, getting to where you can knock out 10 perfect push-ups. Okay, from there, the next step, so one of the big key components that make the ring dip itself a little bit more challenging is that you have the instability here. Okay, so developing that shoulder stability, developing that core strength to be able to manage your weight. So in this position, one of the best drills I find is just holding a ring support. Okay, so jumping into the top of the ring dip, this is your ring support, maintaining a good hollow body if you can, getting a little bit of the external rotation and just holding here, staying as active as possible. Okay, this develops that strength. Now, if this is a struggle for you in the beginning, some ways that you can scale would be to have the rings lower, be able to kind of put one foot on the ground. So here, putting one foot on the ground, having one foot up, so points of contact, so having less point of contact on the ground. You can start by holding 10 seconds at a time, building from there, maybe getting to where you can hold a ring support for a solid 30 seconds, keeping the rings tight into the pockets, holding and maintaining that external rotation while you're in that position, as well as that hollow body position. So being tight, squeezing the glutes, recruiting as much of your core as you can to help. Okay, so that's the ring support. Once you've felt pretty good with this, next step is to go into ring push-ups. Okay, so now we're applying the pushing motion as well as including a little bit of that instability. So now you're not going to stabilize while you're pushing. The great thing about the ring push-up is you can scale it pretty easily. So further out I walk, the easier it's going to be. Okay, so with the standard of a ring push-up, full range of motion, you want to try to get your thumbs to your armpits. In this position, notice exactly the same movements as my push-ups. My chest and my hips are lowering at the same time, and then as I press out, my chest and my hips rise at the same time. So I'm moving as one unit in this position. Okay? As you get more comfortable with that, you start to walk yourself further down until you can get directly underneath the pull-up bar. And again, here, chest and hips, notice that my hips aren't sagging or touching the ground, so that should be a goal for you. Is at the bottom of the ring dip, hips, thighs should not touch the ground. You can maintain that position and you can walk out of that position. So that's the ring push-up. Okay, once we get from here, okay, the next step, so you've got the stability, you've got the push-up, moving into that more of that vertical position. So you can stack boxes, and I'll also show you a version if you have GHD. So if you don't have boxes that are tall enough or don't have these set up frequently, you can go to a GHD and do them off the end of a GHD. If your gym has parallel bars, then perfect, you can use those. So now we're working the dip part of the motion without the instability of the ring, so that general strength. So what that's going to look like, if you're going off boxes, here, you want to think about staying tight. Again, hollow body position, always hollow body position, driving the elbows straight back to lockout. Okay, big thing here again, guys, make sure the elbows are tracking back, chest comes through, and they're not pushing out, okay? So it's the exact same position as your push-up. So in your push-up, we never drive our elbows out. We always keep the elbows nice and tight inside of the body. So same thing on the ring dip. If you can get pretty focused on that, when you get to the rings and you're focused on driving your elbows back, you're gonna notice it's a little bit easier to control. Okay, so again, you can do those off boxes. You can also do it off the end of a GHD. So follow me, we'll show you that. Walk fast. End of a GHD is a good place to also do these. On this, make sure that they're not too wide, just to keep everything close. You want them right by your side. Here, same thing. Lower, get full range of motion, lock it out. Okay, so this on the boxes, I like the boxes because you can set up a little bit higher to help you maintain that hollow body position. But if the GHD is easier for you to practice regularly every day, then definitely getting on the end of a GHD, knees behind. Make sure that you slightly lead with the chest. A lot of people too tend to want to try to keep their chest upright, and that makes it hard to start getting into the traps. So again, from here, you're gonna lower. Movement starts with the bend of the elbows, and then I slightly drop my chest forward as I come down to the bottom of the dip. Last piece, moving into the ring dip. Okay, so now you're linking 10 on a box or 10 off the GHD. You feel pretty comfortable with the movement. Now you start taking it to the rings where it becomes a little bit more unstable. But you should be good because you've been practicing your ring supports, you've been doing your ring push-ups. So then nothing changes. You're gonna jump into that position. Toes are gonna be forward. You're gonna lower here. Make sure that the top of the rings to the armpits, and then lock it out at the top. Okay, so from here, if this still is a little bit too much, but you feel pretty good with that, you can also add. So I don't generally like to use bands for ring dips or pull-ups. So what I have my athletes that are kind of in that in-between phase, I'll have them grab a bench, have them put their feet on a bench, ring dips this way, so it keeps their feet forward. In that hollow body position, I'm not a big fan of having the feet back behind. Okay, so again, we're trying to maintain good body positioning. So here, lower, lock it out. If that feels too easy, take one foot, lower that way. So rings, generally, if you add the bench, you might want to lower the rings just a little bit. If you noticed, for me, getting in that position was a little bit tricky because the rings were too high. Bring it here. Now I'm ready for my work. Okay? So with that, guys, that's kind of the progression for building strength for your ring dips. In a video coming up, we are going to address the kipping ring dip. So stay tuned, guys. All right, guys, one more thing. If you are interested in learning more, finding out more videos, or what videos are coming up, or if you want to send us some feedback, click on the Learn More link that's going to be at the end of this video and subscribe to our newsletter. Thanks.